All right. Hey, everybody. I am so sorry that I can't be there in person today, but I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to present, share a little bit of Rush's story around our monitoring-based commissioning program that's associated with our energy efficiency initiatives. My name is Ian Hughes. I'm our Director of Environmental Sustainability at Rush University System for Health. And to start this program, I'm going to give a high-level overview and framing using our Office of Environmental Sustainability programs. So we have been around for about 6 years now, actively measuring, managing, and minimizing our environmental footprint at Rush across these 5 pillars of impact, including climate, resources, waste, purchasing, and people. From a high level, this drives a lot of what we do, especially in this space on the climate and resources side of things. Um, we are highly collaborative in nature. We've got this, what we lovingly refer to as our amoeba of impact. We've got folks that are supporting us from the senior level all the way down to the grassroots as sustainability champions. And I'll talk a little bit more about the multidisciplinary working groups here in a second, but we really are a small team of three core full-time staff trying to be a team of 10,000 because we want everybody at Rush to be a part of this work to make the impact that we need to in the time frame that we do. I also want to talk a little bit about the intersectionality of this work with our health equity team and the work that they've been doing for the last several decades here in the great city of Chicago. There is a known fact that if you go 6 train stops to the west, you live 20 years less. It's a really sad statistic. This image is actually a little bit outdated. The numbers have increased, and the life expectancy gap between the Loop and East Garfield Park is about 20 years now, right? This drives a lot of what Rush does as an organization in our mission to really define who gets a chance to be healthy, right? And these neighborhoods have been left behind for long periods of time, and we're really truly trying to get to the root cause of these life expectancy and wage gaps that you see on the west side to make things even better for our patients and our communities. Kind of overlaying this, which is really interesting, is we also see an increasing environmental burden going from downtown in the loop to the near west side. We see increasing in temperatures upwards of 20 degrees with a really amazing study that was done, Heat Watch Chicago, to understand that there's a 20-degree difference when you go from downtown in the loop into the near west side because of things like urban tree canopy cover, a variety of other things. But these are definitely having an impact on that life expectancy gap. So we're standing firmly in that intersection trying to better understand it and act on it. So that said, we have also made several public commitments to decrease our greenhouse gas emissions across the boards. One in particular that really drives our work is the Health Sector Cares Pledge with healthcare without harm. And the two big pledge commitments for this one are 50% reduction in scope 1 and 2 emissions by 2030 and net zero no later than 2050. On top of that, we also just received the Sustainable Healthcare Certification from the Joint Commission. If you are in or around healthcare, you know the Joint Commission is a big deal. So this has been great for getting us an opportunity to work directly with our leadership and make sure that we are not only committed to this certification, but in 2 years, we have to make a 15,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalence reduction in our electricity and purchase steam emissions. So we're really excited about that. Those two commitments definitely drive a lot of this work. All right, with that framing, we're going to jump into how we built our MBCx program and the impact that it's made. This really all started with Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, right? We're a large user, and as a result, we were kind of, out of the Common Energy Efficiency Program, but with CEJA passing, give us the opportunity to opt back in. You'll learn a lot more about this and the energy efficiency programs with the next presentation. But just wanted to make the note that this actually really gave us a boost right internally because now we're paying into that program through our utilities bills. We want to make sure that we're getting at least what we get out of it, what we put into it out of it through these energy efficiency incentives and rebates. And we actually just signed last year for round 2 in this program, which we're really excited about. From there, we started several working groups around energy efficiency. The one that's most pertinent today is, of course, the monitoring-based commissioning team. We now have monthly meetings with a wide variety of stakeholders, all of whom are incredibly important in making this work happen. Previously, we just had a part-time staffer who was doing, I think, something like 8 hours a week in our building automation system, fixing what they could. After we started really building momentum and making an impact, that person is now full-time looking for BAS anomalies and doing all kinds of really amazing work, being way more proactive and making for happier people because we've got a better functioning HVAC system. We also created, just kind of as an aside, just like the standard energy efficiency team that does a lot of really amazing work with Terralock to identify other opportunities like LED lighting, VFD installation, filter replacements, et cetera, to take advantage of ComEd's standard and custom programs. All right, so from a really high level, there may be some folks who are wondering what the heck this acronym MBCx is. Monitoring-based conditioning is effectively just an analytical approach of using our building automation systems, pulling data from them to understand where we have low capital, high ROI opportunities for energy efficiency. It's estimated this could be between 4 and 10% of total annual energy usage. Reduction opportunities, most of those initiatives typically fall in the free to $5,000 range. For cost upfront. So it's really, really low cost. It's definitely low hanging fruit, but you get high confidence savings out of this that you can validate and show because you've got data to measure it. MBCx is definitely not a replacement for capital planning, though what's interesting is this can lead to bigger discussions to provide insight around future capital planning. And it definitely doesn't necessarily drive baseload electric savings, right, through things like lighting and plug load, which is, again, why we have that separate working group that focuses on that. So the general process itself is obtaining that data. It's kind of like a plan, do, check, act kind of a process. It's definitely circular, where you pull the data from the building automation systems. We had our partners, American Energy Assets, do an amazing engineering survey of buildings to really understand capacity information of a wide variety of different pieces of equipment, and then really start to pull that BAS data to understand what those potential opportunity items are, our energy conservation measures, ECMs as we call them, prioritize those items. That was a really, really big help for American Energy Assets, was helping us prioritize those. And then on the back end, just continually monitor to show that those savings are real, right? And validate those savings so that we can say what we've got in terms of savings. All right, on the project highlight side of things, again, big shout out to American Energy Assets. They helped us pull these slides together. They've been an amazing asset, an amazing partner for us through ComEd's program. I'm going to run through three ECM examples that are just kind of high-level overviews of some really great projects that we've either successfully implemented or that we are about to implement. One in particular is our East Tower. So it's about an 800,000 square foot patient bed tower. We had a preheat valve leak that was identified. This is a new building, right? I think it was 2011 that it was put up. But just making the point that, newer buildings aren't necessarily immune to failures, right? There's still challenges that happen if you're not paying attention to it. You won't see it. These AHUs, the air handling units in the East Tower, are some of the biggest on campus, each running about 50,000 CFM, and that is 24/7, 365. We did a little bit of math and we figured out that one supply fan motor could cost about 60 grand to run per year. We've got huge steam preheat coil size for lowest design temperature. These things are very expensive, but what we did with our partners at American Energy Assets is set up hourly trends, looking at temperature control valves and programming, and they flagged a 20-degree temperature difference across a preheat coil and valve that were programmed to be closed, which was kind of interesting. So they went out in the field and sure enough found these things were red hot, right? They took the thermal imager and saw that they were stuck wide open, right? And as those valves were stuck wide open, we were wasting massive amounts of energy in the dead of summer, heating air and then cooling it off for the building so that they were comfortable. We engaged a third-party contractor to swap out those valve assemblies. That cost about 16 grand. That money was paid back through the program itself. It took about 4 weeks total, and we have annual electric savings as a result of this valve swap at about $43,000. But the big kicker here was gas savings of nearly $232,000 that was verified annual savings because we were just wasting natural gas as we were preheating those spaces with pre-made steam. So 13,000 metric tons of CO2 saved by having the time and expertise of these folks digging into this anomaly, finding and ground truthing it, and then making the appropriate fix. Our second ECM example is a triangle office building. It's another kind of 9 to 5 building. There are some outpatient clinics. There's a lot of office spaces, things along those lines. It was kind of under the understanding that there was, or I guess the impression that there was a previously set up scheduling set up for those air handlers to turn off or turn down or set back overnight, right? There's no need to have non-patient spaces running 24/7, 365. So they thought that they had already implemented the schedule, and whether something changed or something got switched up in the building automation system. And we did a little bit of digging with AEA and found that it was not being turned back at all overnight and on 100% of the time. So We looked at it with our facilities engineering teams and decided that we could actually do these setbacks, leading to pretty significant energy saving, which is fantastic. Um, and this scheduling was very simple to set up in the building automation system, but we did save over 1 million kWh or a gigawatt hour in verified savings as a result of this bundle. Got about $18,000 in rebates to help cover programming time and in-house labor that was used to actually implement and validate, which was great. Saves about $80,000 a year in electricity costs. And then last but not least, this one is in progress. We have several sensors. By several, I mean hundreds of sensors across campus. And one in particular was actually disabling free cooling for over 10 units, 10 air handling units on campus. And this basically allows for electric chillers to decrease their load by using ambient external air to pull into that system, right? So you're not cooling it using electricity. This can be about 30% of your total building loss. It takes a measurement of the outside air and says, okay, I can bring this in, but the sensor that controlled 10 of those units was actually not effectively using that air as we found, or as the AEA found, through flagging economizers that weren't working appropriately. After they kind of dig a little bit of a deeper dive there, they found out that there's some really great opportunity for us. This is kind of still in process, but we're hoping to not only replace that sensor, but get paid to replace it and experience some pretty significant energy savings through free cooling. We're really excited about that project as well. So on the program results side of things, we have been doing this program since about 2021. It's been our bread and butter. It is a low, no-cost program that's been saving us some significant energy in the background throughout the course of those 5+ years. In fact, we've had 23 bundles of energy conservation measures, totaling 39 that we've submitted. We've received over $87,000 in incentive funds, and we're typically averaging about a bundle of ECMs once every 6 weeks. And if we can do Clark Griswold drum roll, I'll give you all the final numbers. Everybody, joy to the world. All right, so our total annual savings, hopefully y'all got a laugh out of that, is 8.6 million kilowatt hours, 850,000 therms, and about 1.8 million in offset costs because of utilities efficiency. We are incredibly proud of these numbers, incredibly grateful for all the stakeholders who have supported it and made it happen, and really excited about the impact that it's continuing to make, not just on our operations, our costs, but also on our greenhouse gas emissions, right? We've had 26% total decrease in greenhouse gas emissions associated with purchased electricity, 17% of which is attributable to this program. So again, that's been huge for us. We've been recognized by ComEd for the last 4 years straight for Project of the Year, highest kWh savings for 4 years in a row in the program. So anybody else in the room, I hope you gun for us, come and take that crown from us and push us to do even better. And then last but not least, we got a really great award from People's Gas for Partner of the Year, again, for part of this work being those significant energy savings as part of MBCx. It's pretty obvious what these savings are, or sorry, what the benefits are rather, for this program. But just to point a couple of them out, one in particular is having access to subject matter experts and having people that are helping organize this work, prioritize projects, help us track data, work directly with ComEd to submit paperwork, so that makes this process so much easier for us has been huge. And I think another one that maybe not so obvious is the fact that this work, every kWh we save or therm we save, helps support grid reliability and resilience, and we're really excited about that. In particular, because we know that there's people on the near west side and in the Chicagoland area who, if their power goes out, that could mean life or death for them, right? So the more resilient and reliable we can make our grid, the better. That said, I really deeply appreciate the opportunity to present. Apologies again for not being able to be there in person, but thank you so much. Feel free to reach out and stay in touch. Keep up the great work, my friends. Talk to you soon.